The Samurai Code. If we want to learn how to really conquer fear, then we can turn to some examples from history. Some of the most fearless, formidable warriors of all were the samurai. So how did they achieve this complete lack of fear? According to legend, there was a technique that the samurai would practice right before battle in order to eliminate their fear. To do this, they would vividly imagine every possible way that they could be killed. They would imagine being impaled, dismembered, and decapitated. Then they would focus on accepting these possibilities and coming to terms with them. They would become okay with a horrific and brutal death. The samurai were actually a very morbid and fatalistic bunch. The Bushido code explained that it was an honor to die in battle and that they should constantly keep their mind on death. You'd think this would make them more fearful, but paradoxically, it empowered them to be the completely ruthless, fearless warriors that they were. This makes sense. If you fear death, then you will fear life. If the samurai have accepted the worst thing that could happen to them, and if they have come to terms with it, then what reason have they to be afraid? Now imagine fighting someone who has zero fear of death, who is willing to put themselves at risk, to launch 100% into a movement and not be concerned for the potential outcome. They would be devastating. The good news is that we live in a much less dangerous time, and you probably don't need to come to terms with your death in quite the same way. But we can take this same notion and we can look at ways to apply it to our own lives. Learning from the Stoics. Interestingly, Stoic philosophers took a similar worldview when it came to their fears. Stoics believed that the secret to happiness was to be prepared for all the worst possible outcomes and to live inside those possibilities. They thought that blind optimism was one of the quickest ways to leave yourself miserable and disappointed. Think about it. If you constantly expect the worst and get the best, then you are going to find yourself feeling either pleasantly surprised or getting what you expect. If you constantly expect the best and get the worst, you are going to be consistently disappointed. If you accept that negative things happen and you've prepared for them, then there is no reason not to take chances and risks. And there is a beauty in things going wrong. The saddest points of our lives are rich with emotion because we have lost things we cared about. The only way to avoid that is to live a bland and unexciting life. The moments when we have felt sacred for our lives have been the times our biology and psychology were tested and we had to use our wits and our courage to survive. The Stoics pointed out that the times we are most likely to curse the heavens are the times that we are shocked. For instance, you don't swear when it starts to rain. This is a normal occurrence and something we anticipate. You swear when you burn your hand because you were surprised. If you expect things to go wrong, they don't catch you out.